You're 9, chopping wood with your dad somewhere in 17th century China during the Ming Dynasty. Then, out of nowhere, a shiny wagon rolls up to your house like it's delivering treasure. A guy in blinding robes steps out and walks into your house like he owns the place. You keep chopping, like you're not totally watching him through the corner of your eye. And then, bam! Next thing you know, you're the one being thrown into that wagon. You yell, you kick, you're ready to throw hands. But then, he pulls out a steamed bun. It smells amazing. You've never seen one so fluffy. Naturally, you shut up and take a bite. For a second, you forget you've just been kidnapped. Turns out, this guy is a scout for the Imperial Palace. His job? Go around collecting fresh new eunuchs. Yeah, we'll come back to that. A few hours later, the wagon rolls through the gates of the Forbidden City, and your jaw hits the floor. It's huge. Guards everywhere. Buildings taller than any tree you've ever seen. And people? All strutting around like they invented silk. Your scout buddy guides you into one of the buildings, and you're greeted by a super old dude with shaky hands. He stares at you way too long and mutters, "Such beauty." Creepy? Oh, absolutely. After that horror show, you're taken to a way less impressive room. No golden dragons, no fancy pillows, just an old-smelling space and a sad little mat on the floor. It's basically the palace's version of a motel closet. You try to sleep, but one thought keeps circling your 9-year-old brain. What am I even doing here? But hey, your parents trusted this guy, right? Right? The next morning, you find out why you're here. Congratulations, you've been chosen to become a eunuch. Your first instinct? Escape. Duh. You scan for exits, do some quick spy math, and decide, I can totally outrun 100 palace guards. Spoiler, you couldn't. You got about 3 steps before they tackled you like you were hiding state secrets. You fight back, but honestly, what's a 9-year-old gonna do? Then it hits you. Remember that nice scout? Yeah, your parents sold you into this.
So, when the moment comes and the guards pin you to the floor while someone boils water and sharpens a blade nearby, don't waste your breath begging. They're not monsters, just cogs in a very bloody machine. Then, bam! No words, no mercy. Pain rips up your spine like lightning struck between your legs. You try to scream, but all that comes out is a choke. The world tilts. Blood's everywhere. Your breath stutters. And the worst part? You don't black out. You feel every second, every stitch. And just like that, your fate's soaked in wine and lime. It's over in minutes, but the shame sticks around longer than the pain. You refuse food. You cry until you physically can't. You're 9 years old and your childhood just got a hard reset. When you're first ordered to carry water through the palace halls, the concubines notice. They cover their mouths, giggling behind silk sleeves. Half boy, one hisses, another smirks. Not even that. That laughter cuts deeper than the blade ever did. But guess what? No one has time for your breakdown because you're now officially a eunuch. Congrats! Time to get to work. You get tossed into the Zhaofengsi, where eunuchs learn to sing and dance to entertain the emperor. Yup, this is your life now. Less ninja, more K-pop trainee with a traumatic backstory. A few days in and you already hate everything. Your teachers? Sadists in silk. You're forced to learn to dance, play multiple instruments, and, worst of all, sing in falsetto like a glass-breaking songbird. Seriously, who the hell teaches a guy to sing like that on purpose? 3 grueling years go by in a blur of sore muscles, shouted corrections, and shared foot fungus. But somehow, you're considered ready. Ready for what? Your first big performance. A banquet. For the emperor. It's held at the Palace of Heavenly Purity, which sounds peaceful until you realize it's actually just a high-pressure talent show with your life on the line. Drums are pounding. Flutes are singing. Some guy's playing the pipa like his fingers owe him money. The whole room glows from the lanterns, flickering off golden walls like you're inside a jewelry box. Then your group gets called in. You march in, stomach doing flips, sweating through layers of expensive fabric. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, you're dancing tonight. If you trip even once, that's your entire career, and maybe your life. Done. But surprise, you crush it. Every spin, every step, every dramatic hand gesture is on point. You sneak a glance at the emperor. He's nodding. You actually impressed him. Not bad for a kid who used to chop wood. Shockingly, the emperor asked to see you that night. This is huge.
The emperor doesn't even make eye contact with most people, let alone call for encore performances. So you go, nervous, flattered, and mostly terrified. He tells you to dance, again, then again, then again. For weeks, this turns into a nightly routine, like you're the emperor's personal Spotify playlist. Dude is obsessed. Then one night, after your usual performance, the emperor tells you to stay. And when the emperor says stay, you don't get a choice. So, you stay. The next morning, something's changed. Everyone in the inner court is looking at you differently, like they know, which is weird because nobody saw anything. And yet somehow, they all seem aware that you shared the emperor's bed. And the weirdest part? They actually respect you now. The emperor calls you again the next night, and you're really hoping this isn't another round of, well, you know. But surprisingly, it doesn't go that way. Instead, you sit and talk about poetry, literature, philosophy. He even asks your opinion like it actually matters. Weird, right? Weeks go by like that. He's skipping banquets, ignoring concubines, half the palace is whispering about it, and he doesn't care. Instead, he gives you all the gifts: silks, jade, rare books, the full imperial sugar daddy starter pack. You even get moved into luxurious new quarters, right next to the emperor. And everyone knows what that means. But here's the thing, not everyone's a fan of your glow-up. The ministers? Furious. You're not royalty. You're not a noble. Yet here you are, living large while they wait hours just to speak with the emperor. The creepy old eunuch? He thinks you're getting too powerful to control, which in palace language means you're officially on the should disappear list. Rumor has it they formed a faction against you. Secret meetings, long scrolls, whispered threats in hallways. But you're not into politics, so you do the reasonable thing. Completely ignore it. Big mistake. One day, your friend, another eunuch, pulls you aside, eyes wide. They're planning something, he whispers. You barely have time to blink. The next morning, a group of ministers storms into court, accusing you of embezzlement. They even bring documents, signed, sealed, and completely fake. But it looks real enough to ruin you. The emperor? Furious. Not just angry, disappointed angry. The kind of angry that makes him refuse to even look at you. And here's the thing, if he doesn't forgive you, you're not getting demoted. You're getting executed, like immediately. So what do? You kneel, right outside his quarters. Cold marble under your knees, all day, no food, no water. Just you and the silence of a palace pretending you don't exist. Finally, the emperor comes out. Your knees are bleeding, your lips cracked. He looks at you, tired, hurt, betrayed, and asks the one question that breaks your heart. Why didn't you just tell me what you needed? Through tears, you tell him everything. The lies, the fake documents, the setup. And somehow, by some miracle, he believes you. After that, everything shifts. The emperor trusts you more than anyone and relies on you completely. Speaking of the emperor, he's sick now, and the sicker he gets, the more he needs you around. Day and night, whispering advice, holding court meetings for him. You're not just a favorite anymore. You're the guy holding the empire together with a fan and a forced smile. But then something unexpected hits you. A minister reveals the truth. Your old friend, the one who warned you about the conspiracy, wasn't warning you at all. He was feeding you just enough truth to earn your trust and keep himself safe. Classic palace move. You confront him. He swears it's a lie. Swears he'd never betray you. And the worst part? You want to believe him. So even though every bone in your body says don't believe him, you do. You let him go. Because he's your friend. Big mistake? We'll see. After that, you weren't just another eunuch. You were the emperor's shadow, his confidant, his voice in meetings, sometimes even his bedmate. People didn't dare whisper when you walked by. They held their breath because he couldn't function without you. And then, one morning, you wake up wrapped in silk sheets beside the emperor. He's half-dressed, peaceful, honestly, too peaceful. You nudge him. Nothing. Call his name. Still nothing. That chill crawling up your spine? Yeah, it's real. A few minutes later, the physicians confirm what you already know. The emperor is dead. But there's no time for mourning, no time for tears. You're not just his lover. You're a man surrounded by knives, and the only thing protecting you just stopped breathing. So you move fast, order everyone in the room to keep quiet, seal the doors. Send letters to your most trusted allies, people who owe everything to you, telling them it's time to secure the throne and your position. Then you go back to your quarters to plan. A few hours later, you try to leave, but the guards, the same ones who've protected you for years, step in front of the door. And then you see who sent them. Your allies. Correction, former allies. Turns out you weren't the only one making secret moves after the emperor died. While you were writing letters, they were sharpening knives. And now you're under house arrest as the empire decides who gets the throne. Every hour feels like a year. For the first time in years, that you're no longer the most dangerous man in the room. Then, one afternoon, someone steps inside. It's him, your friend, the one you spared, the one you told to run. And now he's here, standing in front of you with zero shame. Turns out, your recent downfall, the betrayal, the fake allies, the power shift, all him. He played you like a damn lute. You stare at him, speechless. This is the guy you risked everything for. And now he's sealing your fate. Before leaving, he casually drops the final bomb. A new emperor will be crowned tomorrow. And you're scheduled for execution right after. Cute, right? But you've had enough of this palace deciding how you live and when you die. So that night, you look around your room, your prison, and then you look at your belt. Technically, you've got a few of them, part of the eunuch uniform. You tie them together, tighten the knot, and as the moon rises over the Forbidden City, you climb onto the table and step off. Not because you're weak, but because it's the last thing they can't take from you. They took everything else, but not this. Thanks for watching. I love making these kind of videos, and if you've got ideas for the next one, drop them in the comments. I actually read them. But before you go, you need to check out this next video, Why It Sucks to Be a Medieval Witch. If you think life is tough now, wait till you hear about what they went through. It's brutal, shocking, and honestly hard to believe. Click on screen now, and I'll see you over there.